My friends, a situation has arisen that requires my immediate attention. It is a matter of some discretion, but you have all earned my trust, and I feel I owe you an explanation for my sudden disappearance. A dear friend of mine is in considerable danger, and it has fallen to me to help him. The man who approached me at the docks is a former acquaintance of mine by the name of Ciro Volix. When I was originally living in Arches, this thug tried to strong-arm me into participating in various misdeeds. I did my best to resist him, but now it seems I have no choice. He has pressed my childhood friend Caleb into his service, due to a debt he has accrued. However, he says he will absolve the debt and release him from further obligation if I do one job for him. I know it will be unpleasant, and likely against my own moral compass, but I see no other option. Caleb was there for me during the hardest years of my life, and I owe it to him to be there for him now. I sincerely apologize for my sudden disappearance, and for not talking to you more directly. I was afraid that if I came to you and explained my situation, you would have attempted to stop me from going, or worse, insisted upon joining me. I have every intention of returning to you once this matter is settled and Caleb is safe. In the meantime, safe travels, my friend. Sincerely, Derek Henridge.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Children of Ash, a real play RPG podcast where we tell stories about the world after the world. I'm Dylan, your storyteller and game master for the evening, and surrounding us is our table of players. Say hi, everyone.
Hi.
Unfortunately, we are down 2 people today. Juliet is unable to make it this week due to scheduling conflicts. But Josh now makes the 3rd person on the Children of Ash to have a child. Everyone seems to be doing amazing. We wish them well, and Derek has been pulled away from the party to handle some elements of his past. We absolutely intend to run that side story when he's back, possibly as a Patreon subscriber exclusive. We'll see how that goes, but he absolutely will be back once his life settles a little bit more, because we are not letting him get away that easily. But let's go around the table and introduce ourselves.
So, did everybody else just hear that honk noise?
Yes.
Honk, honk.
No, that was me. I just have to put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Okay.
Wonk, wonk.
It sounded so much like a clown's nose, just like for the residents of it. Very confused.
You know, all these people having babies, I have to wonder whether children naming it naming of the game Children of Ash.
Yeah, it's entirely your fault. You brought this up.
This is I don't know if this is a fertility curse or a fertility blessing, but I'm happy to report to everybody that my womb remains barren and childless.
Right, yeah. So it should be Barren Womb of Ash. Oh, that's terrible.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. I said that.
But actually, it kind of works. Kind of works.
Yeah, it does. But it's too descriptive. I don't like that. I wish I hadn't said that.
Becca, Josh, and Peter and I have a text thread going at this point as the parents of the children of Ash. Just so that we can have that baby talk and not just be flooding you guys with it.
It's appreciated.
Did we have a fact prompt this week?
Not that I know of.
Shit,
But I'm so late. I can't be trusted with anything. I didn't even know we were playing today.
You know what? In light of Derek's absence, what is everyone's character's favorite book?
Oh, that's cute.
Like, if they were people in the modern world, what would their favorite book be? Or like in a world where there's like 5 books? Like,
In a world. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this in world, in character, if possible. And if you can't come up with something, since it's spur of the moment, feel free to reach for something in the real world.
I got something. I think Rez would have a real fondness for books of Nyoka stories. His mother is Nyoka, and when Rez was young, there was a book of fairy tales that he really liked. And of course he outgrew those, as children do. But as he grew older, he learned that there were other Nyoka stories that are just as fantastic and just as frightening and just as dark. But are they real? Are they fairy tales? His mother would never really say. And that fascinated him. That there might be things out in the world, secret things, dangerous things.
Since you jumped ahead in the line, why don't you introduce your character too?
I'm bad at this. Here, somebody else do book stuff, and I'll introduce myself once I have my thoughts about me.
Fine, give me more to edit.
Buddy!
Hi, I'm Jesse. I play Wayland. Wayland is your typical precocious boy genius adventurer, 11-year-old. Wayland's favorite books are his dad's notebooks. After his dad disappeared, he was already apprenticing for his father, but the only way that he could keep his father's memory around him was to go over his scientific notes and reading his journals and his scribblings and trying to think about him and learn about him and understand him better through those. Everything except the one cabinet that was really well locked and seemed to have a bunch of books that were wood carvings. They were very educational, but not about science.
That started off as an awe, and now I'm like, ooh, what? What did he just like stumble onto his dad's Playboy stash or something?
Yeah.
Please. When they're made from wood cuttings, they're known as classical erotica, and very highbrow. You can put them in a museum.
Isn't all paper just a kind of wood cutting?
Yeah, but
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Hi, my name is Peter, and I played David Davidson, a big hulking fighter from the north. And he, his favorite book, or I guess type of book, would be generally books on the flora and fauna of this world, survival books. Anything written by those that have ventured out into the unknown and kind of come back and said, like, this is how you survive out there. Like, he really those are the books he would potentially enjoy if you catch him reading. Be like, never.
All right.
So kind of the like Jack London to build a fire, like stories of
Yeah.
daring survival. I love that.
But would it be like stories of daring survival that are actually like teaching, or would it be like the guy
right.
who is just going out and writing and has no idea how to actually survive, but just making it up and convincing the city folks?
I think a mix of both. Definitely like straight up tutorials, and then also, Jack London-esque type stuff. Like, when he just want to like, he sometimes picks him apart. He's like, that's not how you light a fire.
That's not how you kill a cockatrice.
It was a cold night. Roger knew he had to build a fire. He took the 2 stones next to him and beat them till a spark emerged and lit the log.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm Valentine. I play Rez. Rez is a impulsively curious, roguish thief of secrets, currently playing the role of a scholar, because that's where the secrets live. Although I guess not anymore, because we're on the lam.
You're on the lam, so the secrets don't... Never mind. That joke escaped me.
It's okay. Lambs are very slippery.
Really, though, only one of you is truly on the lam, and that would be David after last session and just gorging himself.
That's right. On all that lamb.
There's so much lamb.
Ugh.
God, I made myself hungry by the end of that session.
There was so much. Yeah, I think you were hungry when you started. There was a lot of emphasis on food. It's like, somebody hasn't eaten.
Maybe, maybe not. I'll never tell. So, I guess since we're on books, Valentine brought up Stories of the River Folk. I think that, I'm not going to give away somebody's favorite book, but I will say that I think that the Stories of the River Folk are probably both the oldest news stories, in that they were probably some of the original ones from the world that have been kind of handed down since the tide receded and people could venture back out into the world again. But also in some ways probably the least reliable, because they didn't start in the written format. They were all oral tales for a very long time. It's probably only very recently that any of these have been written down, and most likely not even by a Nyoka author. It's probably like some anthropologist from Arches who was like, I'm going to be the one to write down the stories of these people. And they all were like, okay. And so who knows to what extent these are actual stories of the people versus just tall tales they told this stranger from the university.
It do be like that.
Either way, though, I'm sure they made for great reading. All right. Well, then, with that, let us begin. Where are you that you're reading this?
That's a good question, because we left things in the common room of the bar.
We left you in the boarding house.
So should this be like the next morning, maybe? Like he's left a note for us with the owner's front desk, whatever, and we're all just finding out about it now?
Sure. We left you last time in the tavern that is on the first floor of giant building that is known as the boarding house. If you recall, the top floor of the boarding house is predominantly exactly what it's named after. It is a boarding house. It's a place where you can rent a room for a night or for a week, for a month, or however long, while you get yourself situated in town or until you leave. The lower portion is split between some storage, the tavern, general store, a little bit of administrative operations that happen out of some of the rooms in the lower portion of the boarding house. So you have then taken a room or two, or what would you have done?
I suppose, because we don't have lodgings on the boat anymore, right? I assume that they've shipped off at this point.
if you will have taken the time to check back in on them, the boat is probably still there. In general, I would say that most folks would stick around for at least a night or two in port to unload, get paid, find a new
contracts and okay, yeah.
Yeah, new contracts and fill their cargo with new goods. But you have also completed your journey with them, so in terms of your contract with them, that is over.
Well, if you'll recall, when we last left, Rez was under the influence of disguised self and was not looking quite his usual self. And as the evening began to wear on, he would have probably at some point gone and gotten us either a room or 2 rooms, depending what we would need, depending on the size of the rooms. And he would have probably kind of abruptly left and gone upstairs.
I would imagine that since Juliet is not around to speak for Aster, there's at least 2 rooms. Aster is probably truly only comfortable with Derek at this point, having only recently met the rest of you. Though perhaps Wayland, as an 11-year-old, is non-threatening enough that they would be comfortable sharing a room with you as well. They are certainly a little bit more proper than the rest of you. So, at some points, Valentine, you went off, you got a couple of rooms. Was there anything that you wanted to do that evening before you retired? Anything further?
I got rooms, and you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to eavesdrop on the powerful man's table for 14 minutes or so that we had left in that last session. And see if I can hear anything, just kind of casually having a beer nearby, not making any real announcements.
Do you want me to privately message you the various things that you might hear and pick up on?
That sounds great.
Okay, cool. Give me a perception roll. See how well you can overhear. And depending on how obvious you want to be about it, maybe also a stealth roll.
Let's start with the stealth roll.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that if they start giving you too much attention, you're probably going to duck away.
Buddy, I got a 29 on that stealth roll.
So what you're saying is that
I am actually literally completely invisible.
You're just going to strip naked and lay down on the table and no one's going to notice you. Gotcha.
Fantastic.
Correct. And for my perception, oh god, I wish I hadn't wasted that 19. Oh, yeah, that's not so bad. That'd be a 21.
All right. Well, with a 21, give me a few moments to type you something.
All right.
This isn't going to be in character. This is just going to be kind of some notes that I'm going to pass over to you.
Is anyone, and while Dylan was doing that, since I was so rudely occupied him with my sneaking about, does anyone else have anything they want to do?
I mean, yeah, depending on the lay of the room, Wayland would definitely be asking more people if they know of Bazel or the people that he left with. But I will defer to Dylan on whether it looks like these are people worth asking, or if this is a savory crowd, or whatnot.
And David is really, he's not the talkative type. So he kind of, with Rez being quite the investigator, gonna get the right people, gonna get asked the right questions. Kind of waiting for some violence to break out.
Actually, I want to take that back. What Wayland is actually doing is sitting next to David, edging his chair over a little bit, looking at David, looking at the room, and just going like, all right, can you take him? And waiting for a response.
Probably.
Can you take him?
Yeah.
What about that guy?
Might be tough.
Could you take them both at the same time?
Oh, yeah. See that guy? He has a limp right leg. You can tell from the marks on his shoe.
So cool. And like
I'm
trying
done,
to,
by the way. I'm done, by the way.
Okay. Yeah. So Wayland is just, in awe and trying to, figure out who he could be. And in the back of his mind, wanting to know, like, could he fight Mr. Pushka, but not wanting to put that in David's mind, and not wanting to know the answer because either answer will just be sad.
So at some point in your conversation, Rez is going to come over, tossing up his hood as he goes, and says, "It's just typical small town crap. I think we have something we can start poking around in. We know your dad's been here. We know there's stuff that might have interested him. But honestly, I'm bored and I'm tired and I'm getting a room."
All right. Yeah. Wayland's gonna defer to Rez on this town. We'll find out. We'll find out more about him tomorrow morning. Then. Okay.
If you're looking close, you might notice a little bit of a disquiet under Rez's manner, a little bit of seems a little bit rushed, although he's trying to look nonchalant. And he makes his way out of the tap room quickly.
Wayland would definitely not notice that. That is way too subtle for 11-year-old Wayland to catch on to. Like, maybe 2 hours later, he'll go like, he was lying. But, not.
Well then, there's nothing else you'd like to do for the evening. I think that it makes sense for everyone to turn in for the night. You make your way upstairs, either all at once or maybe filtering up there as perhaps David stays down to drink.
Finish my ale.
Wayland begins to fall asleep in Mr. Pushka's arms. As you make your way to bed, do you notice that Derek is oddly still absent after following his, you presume someone that he knew and recognized out the door. But Aster assures you that he'll be fine, and she has ways of speaking to him, making sure and checking in. The rooms are frankly, they're not particularly fancy, but they are clean, they are spacious. There are various goods left in the rooms for you to imbibe or not.
Robes and slippers.
There's a cask of ale in the corner of one room.
Yeah, that's how they get you. They upcharge you on all that stuff after the fact. It's a fucking mini bar, man. I know what I'm describing.
I read about these things in antediluvian texts. They were called mini bars.
The same Toblerone.
Nobody knows what they were.
Ancient triangular chocolates just sitting in them.
We believe they were shrines to old gods, and if you took something out of them, you had to pay just an absurd tithe to get back in the favor of these gods.
The evening passes, you all go to bed, wake up, and as you filter downstairs, Aster brings with them a note. Same note that I read at the front of the episode.
Rez is looking, after having read the note, is looking a little concerned, only undercut by the fact that he's wearing that ridiculous mustache from the disguise kit.
Oh, yeah.
Not in any particular attempt to conceal his identity, just kind of slapped on his face.
Did he sleep in it? Is it like, one side is straight and the other side is just kind of crumpled?
I didn't sleep in it. I put it on this morning after I started wearing my normal face, but I might not have put it on straight. That's entirely possible. Rez is not used to having facial hair. Do you guys think he's okay? Should we go after him? I know we're down here on a mission, but...
Wayland puts a leather down without looking up at everybody else, just goes, I don't want to sound insensitive, but if anybody else gets stabbed or disappears or anything else like that, I'm gonna need 2 weeks notice, because this shit, oh god damn it, and I flops down in a chair.
I'm sure he will be all right. Derek is a surprisingly capable young man.
No, you know what this is? And Wayland jumps up. This happens every goddamn time that we stay in a hotel. Someone disappears. Son of a bitch.
Rez turns to Mr. Pushka. Oh, you big fella, you got any secret past we don't know about? Whack him on the shoulder.
He'll look up over his, I mean, probably. Too bad he's not a talker.
You're whacking Mr. Pushka?
Just a little
like,
friendly tap.
Rotates towards you, whips out his hand and returns it, which is hard enough to knock you flat on your ass, though it is clearly just a playful return of the gesture.
Oof.
We're still working on sociability.
Yeah, this is fine. Fine. Rez rubbing his shoulder. Well, I guess we...
Look, I don't want to sound selfish here, but if Aster says he's probably fine, I'm gonna take their word for it, and I'm going to. I know you guys don't think of me as a kid. I know I don't come off that way, but I want my dad. I just need to know.
And we are here to help. I don't get me wrong, I am concerned about Derek. I don't know what kind of nonsense he has gotten himself into, and I want to help him out of it, but he did specifically ask us not to. So
he'd hardly be the first one to come down to Haven and get himself mixed up in unsavory business. Most of them come back.
We are going to be leaving with Derek.
Great. Glad to hear it. In that case, we've got some leads to follow. Your dad was down here doing what, to the best of your knowledge, a year ago, looking for artifacts?
Tapping out for a second. Has Wayland learned anything in the session that I wasn't here for?
Well, the background is we know he was down here looking for something, right?
Yeah, from what I get,
Yeah.
So he would have passed through about a year ago. Wayland knows that, and it seems like
So
Bazel would have found out about the
mouth of flowers. Yeah. So Rez is going to say, all right. So what we have is one missing artificer and one town abuzz with a fairy tale about an artifact of legend. That seems like an obvious date to me. I don't know where one goes missing for an entire year down here. There's not much down here.
The other lead you had was the Hunter's Lodge.
Oh, what was that? I don't think I heard about that.
The Hunter's Lodge. So he came through and he hired some folks as a guide.
Oh, that was a separate thing. Okay.
Which would have been the local Hunter's Lodge. Or it was implied that they were all from the Hunter's Lodge.
Okay, Thank you.
Yeah.
I missed that. In my head, I was thinking like he hired them from like the tap room. All right, so Wayland pops up from his chair and goes, "Well, as much as I want to just take off, probably not the best idea to just wander out into the wilderness. Rez, do you want to show us where the Hunter's Lodge is?" And
We'll check out the lodge, and if we don't find any leads there, I know some people in the area that I can talk to, but I would prefer not to for now. So let's go over to the lodge.
Thank you. As we walk out the door, kind of stop and look back at Rez and look at David and look at Rez and then back at David and point at David. You don't... How should I put this? We're not going to walk into this lodge and find out that everybody wants to kill you, right? Because it's kind of been that kind of morning for me.
No, I think it'll be fine.
Are you sure? Because you can borrow this. Rez points at the mustache.
No, thank you. Looks at you just like, ugh.
You're a loss.
All right.
Twiddles the mustache.
All right. You lead the way, big guy.
All right.
And I put my hand in push. I meant the other big guy.
The lodge is off towards kind of the northeastern part of the town. Wandering over there are a few things that you pass by on your way. First of all, you end up circling around the boarding house, getting a better view of the town behind it. The town it's not very big, first of all. It is, as Jesse commented earlier, it is a prospecting boom town. So there is a lot of new construction, but that's really all. There is a point where the construction stops, and you can see bunches of ruins, foundations, and spaces that seem to be left for more folks to expand into, should they feel the need and have the cash. There's also, you notice, a section of this that has been cleared out. You don't pass by it, but you can see it as you make your way through the town among smaller buildings, where there are some great new buildings, dark gray construction, all stone, which is a little unusual. There's a lot of wood here, and these 3 buildings are where the great plumes of smoke that were spotted when you first arrived are pouring out of. Based upon the things you've heard, can kind of guess that these are the refineries, part of the new industry that the town is beginning to invest in. You find yourself walking closer to the palisade on the far edge of town, and pressed up against it, right nearby a gate that leads off into, you can see what looks like some ruins or field, something of that sort beyond. But standing up against the wall, it looks like a great tavern of sorts. It's a bit of a sprawling mess, 2 floors that don't quite sit properly on top of each other. There's smoke coming out of a chimney, smell of meats and game. Off to the side, there's a whole stretch of hides that are tanning and animals that seem to be being prepared to be smoked and saved for later consumption. And right at the front of the entrance is a great big wooden placard painting of a bear on it, which, David, you recognize as the symbol of the Hunter's Lodge.
Yes. Okay. So we stroll right on in, as is custom. Can't show weakness.
I kind of position it so that I let Davi go in first, and put my hand at Pushka so he takes up the rear as we go in.
As you wander in, actually, as soon as David pushes the door open, you can hear inside shouting, cheers. Sounds like some level of drinking game going on, even though it's, frankly, it's warm already, but it's still mid-morning as you make your way in. The interior is well lit by a number of candelabras hanging from the rafters. There is a relatively small but loud and boisterous crowd that are cheering over some game off in the corner you can't quite make out. It appears to be it's not a card game. It's maybe some feat of strength, or as you get closer, it's two men are locked arms over a table. It's not arm wrestling, it's both arms pressed against each other. And as you sit and watch, eventually one of them, in a sudden burst of movement, slams downward into the tabletop. A loud thud, and everybody around cheers. The other man raises his arms in victory. No one is paying any attention to you at the moment.
Okay.
What do you do?
I don't know, David, I'd like to look for kind of like an open table. And if there's one, kind of sort of make a beeline towards that. And on the way, just kind of scan around and see if I recognize anybody.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Hot damn. Natural 20. Plus 3, so that's a 23.
Jesus. Okay, I guess I gotta go and look into your fucking character background and find someone to throw at you. You weren't going to have anybody here that you knew, but with a nat 20, I will give it to you.
You can see so hard. You're actually attracting people into the bar. This is beyond perception. You are creating the world.
A magnetic gaze, and your friends are just pulling through the door.
Yeah.
The harder you stare, the more you just will someone to being.
You just made your imaginary friend real?
Haven't we all, brother?
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't. Okay, I'm gonna take this back. You haven't filled out your relationship section of your character sheet.
Oh, what?
There's only Jan Janssen on there.
Oh, this is very true.
Definitely. Yep. So no, you don't recognize a goddamn person. In fact, you look around and you clock everybody very clearly. You look at them directly in the face, and you make eye contact with every person in the room, one by one, meticulously. And you don't recognize a single one of them. There are some gray men here, some northerners. There are a few, frankly, just general frontiersmen from the Protectorate. There's one person from the south that looks surprisingly up here. Don't normally find southerners making their way up into the lodge, but there they are.
Yeah.
As you
Go ahead.
Sorry, no, go on.
I was saying, like, after David finishes, like, individually staring down each and every person, he's quite disappointed to not realize that there's nobody that he knows. He was hoping that some connection or some evidence of his brother might be found, so that he could see how he's doing, and then be able to, like, tally up the numbers, like the competitive brother numbers, and see who's winning.
No such luck. And as you scan the room, finding your seat, beginning to sit down, a grizzled old man wanders over to you with a mug of ale, slams it down on the table. Assume this one's for you. What's everyone else having?
Wayland looks immediately with
Yeah, kid.
Ale.
What do you want?
I have what he's having.
That's funny. Wait. And he looks over at David. You buying your kid a round of drinks?
Yes.
Wayland sits back, behind his head.
Who am I to judge? And he just walks away. You guys got a table. Now what?
Well, they do. They'll probably look around at some point and notice that Rez is gone. Rez just fully melted into the shadows of this place as soon as you got through the door, as if by habit, without saying a word to anyone.
Wait a minute. Does this place have lodging? Did we just lose another fucking party member? God damn it.
You might be able to spot him if you look around the room.
Okay, no. Wayland just looks at David like, so, am I going to get that ale or not?
Aster just turns to you. I think that if David isn't going to drink it, I can take it from you.
We drink this instead of water. Better than what comes off the bridge. And besides, as a master craftsman, part of my contract is I get 3 butts of ale or wine per month. It's how I keep the household staff liking me more than my cousins.
I'm going to assume that nearby there's somebody else with a drink.
Yeah?
Seeing the dismay on Wayland's face, I'm going to use Mage Hand, and I'm going to grab somebody's drink off of a nearby table and sit it right in front of Wayland. Would you like me to roll sleight of hand?
I think you're going to have to.
I think I'm going to have to. And do keep in mind that my Mage Hand is invisible.
Oh, yes. The
yes.
Mage Hand is invisible, but that doesn't mean that what it does isn't.
This is true.
Or sorry.
Well, I think typical
yeah, you
Mage
know what I'm
Hand
saying.
Isn't. Mine very much is.
Yeah, typical Mage Hand is definitely visible. However, this isn't actually Mage Hand because we're in the
of course,
Shadowborn universe.
This is the Kirkland brand Mage Hand.
It's not the Kirkland brand. The D&D version is the Kirkland brand.
Yeah.
This is, this is the like custom done by a local artisan.
So, for a 19.
I rolled a 5.
Great. So, you're having this little disagreement, and then suddenly you see a glass from a nearby table kind of begin to levitate, sit right in front of you.
Wayland just does everything he can not to react to it. Looks at Rez, slightest little head nod, and puts both hands around it. Make sure it's safe. Takes one big gulp and tries his hardest not to gag on it.
Give me a Constitution roll, because not only are you a kid that sounds like maybe you haven't really had a lot of experience with alcohol, this is the Hunter's Lodge, where they pride themselves on drinking terrible shit.
Yeah, this is definitely a bit of brown in King's Landing. So it's a +2. How's a 9 do for you?
You immediately start to gag.
You hear laughter coming from somewhere in the shadows of the building.
Good stuff!
Aster just reaches over, grabs it, and pulls it next to the other one, so she now has 2 right in front of them.
Oh, mess.
Looks down at it, looks up at David, and pushes one over to him.
David just drinks it happily.
Wayland's awe is equal parts disgust and amazement. At that, gugh. Ugh. That tastes like death. That tastes worse than death.
You hear chuckling coming from off on the side. You look over, and there's a man who's not at the table that everything was just going down in. He's kind of one table over. looking at you, laughing, and he raises his stein at you, nods, chuckles a little bit more, and starts drinking again.
Wayland's stomach turns over. Oh. Ugh.
And this is how you teach your kids not to drink.
Yeah.
Really bad booze.
Yeah. Wayland looks back at them like, no, seriously, that tastes like how mudlarks smell. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mudlarks are the people who like dig through the refuse along a river to try to find like pennies and stuff like that. Like that. There's something wrong with all of you.
The man that had been laughing comes over and sits down. That's the point.
What's the point? There's a point?
Takes his stein and he puts it in front of you. It's fun, isn't it?
I look at the stein. I look back at the man like, I don't know how long it's been since you were a kid, but I'm thinking you might not remember what fun is.
Very well. He reaches out, grabs it, chugs the rest of it.
I didn't say take it back.
So he reaches out to take it, and you reach out to grab it from him.
Yeah. All right.
There we go.
There
Now you're learning.
are few things more prideful than an 11-year-old. So like, all right. Takes it up and tries it again.
Good lad. Give me another roll.
Yep.
Yes.
16.
All right. So you take his stein, put it to your lips, tilt it back, and with now a little bit more of a understanding of what's coming, you drink fast, getting it all down as fast as you can, emptying his stein. You have to pause and very consciously swallow.
Oh god, we're gonna have a drunk 11-year-old.
You are poisoned.
Yes.
Just this is what's going on mechanically.
Yeah.
In reality, over the course of the next few minutes, you as an 11-year-old, you start having trouble just, I'm not going to say you're wasted, but you definitely that first time you've ever been drunk where you're like,
Mhm.
why is seeing harder right now? And, there's, a little bit of that. Almost feel like the muscles around your mouth kind of twitching up into a smile a little bit more than you usually care for.
For me, and I'm going to say for Wayland as well, the way that I learned when I was drunk was how numb my nose was. I don't know anything else that that's true for, but I would when I first started drinking, and still holds true, like I could just go like, I'm a little buzzed, or oh no, I can't drive.
Very good.
So Wayland is just going like, huh, it's numb. Flicking his nose. Like, Wayland is drunk.
And what are you doing? You have a guy at your table. You have alcohol's flowing.
Yeah. All right. Now, I look over at this guy, and he's like, I don't want to do like a stupid cartoonishly drunk thing. Just you. Hey, what's your name?
Me? Oh, I'm Jan.
Yum?
Jan.
Jan. That makes much more sense. Why would it be Yum? That'd be a stupid name.
He reaches over to the stein, kind of tilts it back, realizes there's nothing in it, just kind of like pulls it back to himself at that comment.
God. Oh, I'm sorry. And I kind of pat around for my purse. Can I buy you one?
This is why you befriend the person who's just walked into the bar. Absolutely.
I take my purse, and then I'm still aware enough to I don't know if I'd see over the bar. I look at David.
That's fine. He puts his hand up in the air, looks around the kind of grizzled old man who came over before, sees you, and the hand just kind of points down at you and back up as just like a one.
Yeah.
Man, nods, walks and collects another beer, or another ale rather. You gather this is probably a common thing of non-lodge members coming in, buying around for someone, and
Wayland takes a coin out of his purse that is probably way, way too much for one drink, passes it over to this guy ceremoniously. He goes, Jan, right. You from these parts?
takes the coin, turning it in his hands. Not originally, but very few of us are. Why? Been here long enough. You looking for a guide?
Maybe. Likely. But we're definitely looking for a guy. And Wayland, kind of amused that he took guide and made it guy and kind of laughs to himself for a second, realizes it's not funny, and then comes back. All right. I'm going to confess something. And looks around everybody at the table. I might be a little bit drunk. I think this is drunk. So, have you seen a guy who looked like me, but much older, who would have been around these parts about a year ago?
Sits back, looks at you. Side note, how much do you actually look like your father?
About half.
Yeah, but a little bit shorter than him. I haven't drawn him yet, so I hadn't really, thought that out. Somewhere between, because I named him Bazel, I guess I was kind of thinking he was more of a John Cleese looking guy. Yeah, that's reasonably enough. I mean, Basil has a slim build. He's, kind of a tall and gangly, bit of an Ichabod Crane kind of build to him. So tall, but not in a way that's
Nice.
going to be useful in a fight. If you stretched Wayland out, put a couple decades of wear and tear on him, and shaved back the corners of the receding hair, that would be Basil.
Okay.
Now I got to remember that when I draw him.
Yeah.
Well, the natural 6, I think that's a no. He kind of sits back and looks at you.
What if you told him his name?
His name was Professor Bazel Thrump. Thrupp. My last name's Thrupp. It's Thrupp. His last name is Thrupp.
Oh. I think I vaguely remember men by that name. You you don't look like him at all.
Mm.
You're a bit you're smaller.
Yeah, imagine me all stretchy and old.
That's a terrifying image.
Terrifying.
It's
Thank you.
brother, someone you know?
He's my dad. He came through these parts, hired a couple fellas out of the lodge, and that was about a year ago, and that's the last I heard of him.
Sits back, a little bit lost in thought. He turns around, calls back over to the crowd. Hey, Gertia, you Remember whatever happened to that Bazel fellow? Oh, yeah. A couple of our men went off with him and never came back. Yeah, glad I didn't take that contract. Yeah, you and me both. But what do you need? Is just looking for your dad, or he owe you something?
Does my dad owe me something? Like, money?
It happens. I mean, throws his hands up, kind of like gesturing around. I think some of us got into this business.
Oh, fair. I mean, I'll take your word for it. I don't really know much of anything, apparently.
You know if he's got any mistresses up here or anything like that?
My dad. No. I mean, I would be on one hand, I'd be kind of impressed. But no. He's not the sort. He came out here looking for artifacts from before the tide. I know that.
He's a prospector. Of course. Oh.
Yeah, we call them academics, but yeah, basically the same thing.
Well, an academic is what you are. A prospector is what you do.
Never thought about it like that.
Yeah, he came out here looking for the mask. Offered to hire some folks, said he knew where it was. Bit of a risky contract, always going after that thing.
You know where they went?
But
Do you know who went with them?
don't know them personally, but guess according to Goethe, they never returned. That said, if there's anything to be found of him, probably broke and squatting. Seems to be what happens to everyone who goes after the mask.
Where do people who go after the mask go?
Oh, I mean, all kinds of places. Some of them are convinced it's buried somewhere in the ruins outside of the wall. Some of them venture off into the woods. We had one fellow who was panning the river. Apparently it had some rumor had washed ashore, buried in the silt.
All right. I can think through this. Where were people? My dad disappeared a year ago. He would have thought he had a good lead on it. Where did people think it was 10 months ago?
Goethe? Yeah. Fine, I'm coming. Woman stands up, sighs, looks back at the table, walks away, comes over to you, sits down. Bit of a tank of a lady. Kind of like a taller, younger Tess, in a way. Very heavy set. Honestly, looks a little bit like she's made of muscle. Leans in. Any idea where the contracts were going 10 months ago? Yeah, there was the one guy who was digging at the edge of town by the no, not town. It's over on the edge of the wood in the ruined meadow. Yeah, that sounds about right. But it's definitely not there. I would have found it already. Tell you what though, if you're looking for one of the prospectors, 10 months in, they're usually either gone or trying to figure out how to pay to get back. Either way, they're likely staying in one of the ruins.
Ruins in this town or ruins somewhere else?
Beyond the palisade, there's a whole field of ruins.
I look at Rez and David like, could he just be in this fucking town?
A lot of people are. A lot of people come down here, don't find a way to get back, but usually not artificers. Too useful.
Let's go check out those ruins.
We could, but your dad's a professor. I don't think the people who run this place would let him
Languish.
be so unoccupied as to squat in the ruins.
Have you met prospectors who come through here?
This one was special. This one was a professor. This one was an artificer. This one had knowledge of the old.
That's what they all think. And they get here and it breaks them.
The other possibility is some of these other squatters in the ruins might have seen him.
I might have seen him. That's the place we could start then.
But before we go, does anybody? I look at Gerda. Does anybody here know the two fellows who went with my dad? And I bring her up to speed. You know, Bazel came through a year ago. You know, 2 guys left. Do they have any?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say friends, companions.
I mean, gestures around this. Lodge members here, we're all companions.
Does anybody remember their names?
Yeah. That would have been Otto and Soli.
And can you spell Solvig for me? I have no idea.
Soli.
Oh.
Soley.
EY.
I can spell Solveig for you too, Solveig, but
Nope.
That's not the name.
Wayland is drunk, so that's what he's remembering. Otto and Slowly. All right. You know, Wayland's drunk, so he climbs up on the table and then shouts in the deepest 11-year-old voice that he can, waving his arms back and forth, goes, "Oi!" to try to get everybody's attention.
A couple of the folks who are over at the wrestling table turn around, see this kid, nudge someone else. You don't get everyone's attention, but you get a couple.
All right.
You're a kid in a tavern.
I am. That's going to be a problem. I quickly go through the spells that I have prepared, and none of them are appropriate to use inside.
Fireball!
Actually, hold on. No, I don't have 3rd level yet, but...
Is it clear what he's trying to do?
I mean, it seems clear enough.
So he just wants a little bit of attention. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Wayland does have a reckless spell that you could cast, but it is definitely pushing the level of respect inside a building, because he recently acquired pyrotechnics.
I'm gonna ask whether Rez sees the degree of mischief crossing his face.
Insight.
20. Dirty.
Well, surprisingly, Mr. Throw a jar of oil, or of liquor rather, at the fireplace in episode 2, is quite aware of what's going on.
Wayland's basically rummaging in his pockets trying to find his M80 that he can light. Where's that bomb? It's not a big bomb. It's...
Hey. I got you covered, okay? Raise your glass into the air for me, would you?
I go back, grab the glass, get back on the table. Like this?
Just like that.
All right.
Rez adjusts his wrist bracers, pulls back his hair, and the glass begins to glow.
All right.
It's not getting everyone's attention. A little brighter.
The folks remaining at the table who were not noticing you, just ignoring you, kind of finally sigh, turn around. What's the offer? One of them comments.
Who here,
You trying to hire all of us?
before we get to the hiring part, Wayland stops and goes, who here knew Otto and Soli?
Maybe 3/4 raise their hand.
Who here liked Otto and Soli?
Most of them go back down. David Girta leans over and whispers in your ear, yeah, we're not always all that tight here.
Who here would like to see Otto and Soli again?
Couple hands go down. No, no. Generally, the same hands
All right.
stay-ish, but they're lowering a bit as they begin to get a little confused as to what
Yeah.
you're about to propose.
A year ago, my father hired them as guides. He disappeared, they disappeared. Now I'm here, and I'm going to find my father. Which means I might find Otto and Soli. Soli, Otto and Soli. I might find them. Only problem is, I don't know where the fuck they went. So if anybody can help me, I might be able to bring your friends back. I also can pay you.
Oh, and a bunch of hands go up.
No. The
That.
guys who had their hands up the whole time go first.
A couple of them get up, pull their chairs over to your table. Now, maybe there's 3 of them that pull their chairs over, let's say. So there's 5 people in addition to the 2 of you and Mr. Pushka. As they're kind of bringing them chairs over, they kind of whisper among themselves a bit. Sit down. One of them gets up and goes over. Barkeep. Yeah, we're getting the records for you. While he's doing that, though, how much is the information worth to you?
Before I answer, I look back at the barkeep and mimic what the guy did. Just raise my arm, and then do I point to the whole table?
He's kind of engaged in something, but the person who went over to talk to them notices and nudges him, points over at you, and gestures at himself as well.
Wayland would be entirely intimidated by all these guys and be looking at David like, holy shit, please take the lead on this one, because this is not my pick.
David is definitely laughing on the inside, like, look what this kid just got himself into. This is fantastic. He got drunk, and now he's got all these. Fantastic. But yeah, he notices Wayland's like, look at him and. All right, gentlemen, we're here. We're looking for someone.
How much is the information worth to you? Let's say we can find him. What are you offering?
Well, looks back over to Wayland like, that's up to this kid here.
Well,
Well, we'll pay you for information, and it looks back at David for like encouragement, and we also pay more for reliable guides, and like ends it in somewhere between a statement and a question, waiting to see like, David's affect.
Yeah, well, let's start with information. Then
Yeah.
we'll see if we need a guide.
Girta chuckles a bit, nudges you. I see you trying to hold tight onto this one, eh?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if he thinks you're a good enough guide or if he needs to look elsewhere.
Is this gonna be like a guide off? Do you have a guiding competition?
Guide up.
Oh, it's all a competition here. You see, you don't make it into the lodge on good looks alone. She turns back to what's going on the other side of the room. Just shouts out, "Klaus, you got those records? How much do you think it'll cost to find them?" Klaus kind of chuckles a bit. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we can start with 10 gold and see how far into the records that digs us. Turns back to you. Well, you heard the man.
Wayland taps on Rez's shoulder. That's extortion, right?
I look at him. I look at Mr. Pushka. Do you really want to make an issue out of it?
No, it's just academic question. I've never seen extortion in the wild. Yeah. 10 gold. 10 gold sounds like a reasonable price to find out a fair amount of information.
Klaus calls back a bit. Actually, this hole might be a little deeper than I thought. I think maybe 13. Yeah, I think 13 will be enough to pay for the shovel to dig through the paperwork.
Okay. Wayland has a terrible idea. Wayland reaches into his purse.
Everybody leans over a bit as you do this.
Wayland sees this, brings the purse beneath the table, grabs an empty purse, puts the empty purse on the table. And then he counts out 13 gold coins, puts them in that purse, puts both purses on the table, looks at the guy and goes, "You can pick one. And I want all the information you have."
And I think that we're going to call it for the night.
Awesome.
That's a lot of coin. That's a lot of coin.
I have no idea how much gold would have been in that purse. Is it 14? Was it 30? I have no idea.
Well, you put 13 coins
Took
into
13
the new
out.
one.
Yeah, so I had one bag
Yeah.
with X amount, took 13 out to put a new one. So is there a bag full of 13 and 1? Or is there a bag full of 13 and 30? No idea.
The Children of Ash is Josh as Derek Henridge, Peter as David Davidson, Valentine as Rez Orr, and myself, Dylan, as your storyteller. This episode features sound design by Tabletop Audio, and our intro and outro themes were composed and performed by Fester Spunk. If you aren't already, come support us on Patreon or Ko-Fi. We would love it if you bought us a coffee, something to sip on during those cold nights along the Northern Run. Patrons get early access to episodes, a special title on the Discord server, and they help us pay for equipment and other things that provide you, the listener, with a better experience. You can also purchase early access to episodes as they come out, so you never have to wait any longer than anyone else. Finally, join us on our Discord server for sneak peeks, to chat with the cast and community, or to hang as we live edit episodes almost every other night. Links to Discord, Patreon, Ko-Fi, and our website can be found in the episode description. As always, we love our audience so much, and we will see you down the run. Thanks.
It was specified when we were told no guns. What we were actually told is there's no black powder.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help but notice the specificity of that.
There's just a whole bunch of people who like go out into the street around noon and just flex their biceps at each other.
Finger guns, everything.
Yeah.
No one knows what the finger guns are really meant to be. It's like that's just a weird arcane gesture.
It's equivalent to the evil eye.
Somebody pulls out a Desert Eagle from a holster and just hucks it at him.
What do you mean? No, they load that shit into a crossbow.
Right. Yeah, we're doing serious things. We're playing serious games.